delegates. I think what all needs to be said about CSCs has already been said, and at the end of the day, it's really very little left to say, but let me make an attempt. I hope this presentation is in this. So I just titled it as Future of CSCs because that is the theme of this conference, this session. Yeah. Oh, yes, they have to switch on. Okay. Can someone switch, please? Yeah. So, what is going to be the future? But before we talk of the future, just one glimpse of what is the current status of these. This seems to be some sync problem. Some buttons here seems to be, yeah. So this is a snapshot of what is, I tried to quickly run through these numbers in the morning, but it's only a repetition of that. But the key thing is, the last line, it shows that the national average of only 100 transactions per month per CSC, which is 3 a day, 3 to 4 a day, 3 to 4 citizens in a geography of about 5 to 10,000 population. So it's none too inspiring, is a quick single word analysis of the CSCs across the country. So what do we do? Why is it so? All these reasons are quite well known, but I just tried to capture it in one slide. And as my friend has just said, yeah. So, very few GTC services, poor connectivity, unreliable power in some places, lack of visibility and image. Today, in several parts of the country, the CSC is seen as a photocopy shop or a, self-recharge point. So what kind of image have we been able to create, and is it the right thing? We need to brand it. Probably lack of branding is one of the things why it is not. And again, repeating what Mr. Chaudhary has mentioned, that there is no BPR. Even in those services which are delivered are little laborious in delivery. Then absence of integrated services. This is what is a very ambitious thing. Even you are not able to deliver in isolated individual standalone services also very well, but integrated services is also, it will add value, but it's today unfortunately not there. And a common platform. Within the same state, so many initiatives exist, and so much of confusion exists in the ranks and files of IT functionaries themselves. So, what to talk of a poor CSC really? Some of these, a combination of these factors is what really is hurting us. Now, when we started on this is what we committed to the people of this country as our vision, that we will make available all government services accessible to the government, locality. That's the birth of the formerly Government of India, approach to CSCs and LEGP in general. But today we need to revisit this vision of this. And also, two key things I added here. One is the integrated services, especially for states like Haryana, which are starting a second chapter. This makes eminent sense, and I am told that the presentation on BIS is going to provide an approach. When they made a presentation to us in Beatty, I said, yes, this is, I wish all the best. I wish it's a very, very tough call that they have taken, and must compliment. There is a way to go. It's not as if that it won't work, it will work, but it needs tremendous amount of traction, political will and administrative will to take it forward. So, but that is what the vision should be. Now, if we rewrite the vision. Second key thing is not only citizens but the businesses. And the third one is customer-centric, citizen-centric, business-centric, customer-centric. Redraw the delivery system, redesign the delivery system from the other man's point of view, not your own point of view. So, I am just repeating from what I said a week, 10 days ago at Cochin in the conference, that we need some paradigm shifts from quantity to quality, quantity plus quality. Our friend Vivek contributed to this, that you had an eye there. So quantity is what we need to, when you have a chance to address this, don't get just floored by the number. Today Ethal has 2.8 or 2.7 billion records there. But how much of it is really combining quality? So if you combine and multiply it with the quality factor, it may come down to less than 500 million probably, in terms of what the aspiration of the citizen is. Then citizen centricity, transformation, sea change, so that people, get attracted to that. Individual services to integrate, which I mentioned earlier. And this is one thing, onus on citizen to onus on government. Or no onus at all. This Rajesh spent a lot of time to explain the practical example. Why do you throw the burden on everything to prove that one person exists, to prove that person is so and so? Every time you knock at the door of any government department, for instance. So, how do you shift the onus on yourself as government and save that onus to the citizen? And outputs to outcomes. So, some of these ambitions, easier said than done. These are all very nice things to say in a conference, but since there are examples, there are standing examples, successful examples, we make bold to present them so that there are champions created and champions take these ideas forward. Now, this also I mentioned in the morning, but I put one more box there. This again distills whatever has been happening in the BPR or should happen in the BPR segment, so that really clean services, good services are, qualitative services are provided. On the left side is what I mentioned, elimination. Rajesh was very clearly mentioning most of these points, but I gave a structure to that here, that these 6 thumb rules should be applied to those 6 items on the right side. You have a matrix of 6 by 6. Each form you see and validate it against, can I eliminate it, can I optimize it, can I standardize the form, can I integrate it with some other form or some other department, can I automate that form which is repetitive, can I introduce a self-service through, as we said also, that put the burden on the citizen, reduce your own queues. So, to each one on the right, you apply the left 6 into 6. You have very good ground for, this is for the consultants, for the government functionaries to think. Very simple, logical to do within the department. So, this is an approach to BPR, and we must work in the direction if really we have to make an impact. A service delivered will be, may result in happiness, but if it has to result in delight of the customer, then you have to do this hard work. So mere BPR is not, process is not the only thing. You need to look at the channel of delivery, people, the technology. I don't want to go into all these details, but it is a multi-pronged approach that is needed if you really want to produce delight in a particular scenario. Now, the last point I would like to make is what is going to be the future of. We are currently thinking on this in Delhi at the national, because the lease of life granted originally by the Union Cabinet is either expired, and we are on an extended lease of life as far as CSCs are concerned. So, but very soon that will stop, and then we need to redesign, go to the drawing board and do the CSC thing again. So at this time, see, questions, issues, I am not saying there are answers, but there are issues. Is the number adequate? Do we need more spread? With 2.5 lakh gram panchayat, at least one per gram panchayat. And co-terminus with NOFN, national optical fiber, it's going slow, but since investments have been made, it is going to come through 2014 and partly in 2015. So can we make it at least co-terminus with that? So that the connectivity and other issues are also simultaneously addressed in issue spread. The location, co-location in a permanent building. So not only convenience of the public, but also image of that. The respectability of a really, respectability of a CSC is also associated with that location. So that is one suggestion. Can they be, as Mr. Chaudhary has mentioned just now, that can it go on surviving on these land records and all these transaction oriented, some of them one time, some of them repetitive? How do we elevate the status of the CSC to a knowledge center? It's not merely for transactions one day that people do, but with applications like in the healthcare, education, agriculture, which matter, in improving the economy as a whole. So, can it play a more vital role in the economy than? See, end of the day, it is the value proposition that I am talking about. How good a value proposition, how big a value proposition is the CSC going to make? Survival depends on that. You don't have to advertise. There is a value proposition. Automatically, the footfalls will be there, and there will be, increase in the sustainability of the CSC, which is only limited part of the job, but increase in the productivity and satisfaction levels of the citizens, which is the main goal of CSC scheme. Not to see that he earns 5,000 rupees a month, but to see that 5,000 people get the benefit of that CSC. Then, at the end of the day, if they can be picturized, image created as change agents. Here is a focal point, which is really exuding a lot of new kind of services and new kind of approach. This is the delivery point to go to, single point of reference in the village. That is the kind of image that we need to picture, create, think through and create for this. Ambition should be very high. Our vision should be very high, then at least achievement will be at least half as good as our vision. So we are calling it as eKranti, as a next version of NEGP, not CSC alone. CSC is one part. There are different components in this e-governance, drawing board. So we said that let us give a good name which people can relate to. NEGP is an abstract word, even educated people may not understand. So we created something which is revolutionary, which is showing some progress and forward movement. So we are, as I talk, we are consulting all the states and ministries on these new ideas. And the key thing is that we need to transform e-governance so that we can transform governance. First, let us set our house in order before we talk to other departments, other ministries, other agencies of the society. So that is the key message which we are trying to recraft this. And I hope it will be seeing the light of the day pretty soon. And CSCs are going to be if they have to be relevant, we need to retrack them. They have to take a rebirth in a different form, and then they can really be counted and valued by the citizen going forward. Thank you.